Hi, everyone. Hope you're comfortable. Not so comfortable here on stage, but I have a new tattoo. It says, "Be bold." So we have a mission to promote deep tech, and thank you very much to Latitude for letting us on the stage in such an important time. The report is just fresh off the press. I don't know what the slides are, so hang on with me, and we'll try to introduce it. But a little bit about the report itself. So we at Iron Wolf Capital are doing it for the second year in a row, and the main idea is not to gather the statistics, but to gather the ecosystem behind the deep tech. So the founders, the investors, the stakeholders. Last year we did it with Google and Startup Lithuania. This year we're very proud to partner with Startup Estonia here in Estonia, as well as with our friends from the Baltic's commercialization reactor, and Wallace is doing it together with us for the second year. So this is one part of what we at Iron Wolf Capital do to gather the deep tech ecosystem in the Baltics. Hopefully some of you have been to our deep tech breakfast events as well. And we keep building the community in increasing numbers. A little bit about ourselves. So we started investing in deep tech 5 years ago. The founding team are 3 partners who have been in investments and technology for the last 20 years. Our team is growing. You can find us here across the Baltics, but also in London and in Berlin. And we are hiring. So anyone who is interested in investments in deep tech and novel AI, please reach out to us, whether it's an internship or a more permanent position. We're very happy to talk to you. In the Baltic, in Estonia, maybe to highlight, we have 4 companies: Ivy, Kingdom, Yangronom, and Rendin. All of them are doing really, really great and really performing as the top of our portfolio. Why are we interested in deep tech, and why Latitude and the whole ecosystem is putting it to the front of the agenda today? Let us just remind us that we are coming to the age where we fundamentally believe that today's major problems will not be solved by just another app, but will require new scientific and engineering breakthroughs to solve them. And I hope some of you managed to get to the side event yesterday, organized by SmartCap and NATO Innovation Fund, the Defense and the Estonian Founders Society on the defense. And this is probably for us here in the Baltics, frontier geography. The right one is probably the most significant at the moment: freedom and sovereignty. And of course, deep tech is probably incorporates the majority of the technologies that are critical in that segment, but also in climate change, physical and mental health, and other major issues in the world. So great to see an increasing community. Great to see the likes of EIC and NATO Innovation Fund showing huge interest in the Baltic ecosystem by coming here and organizing these events. There is also statistics, as in every report. I will not bore you too much on that. We will have a QR code at the end of the presentation, and you're happy to be the first ones to download it. But maybe just a few highlights, key takeaways. So we see that deep tech investments in the Baltics have not suffered as opposed to pretty much every single other area of venture capital, which has decreased both in Europe, globally, but also here in the Baltics as well. Deep tech is going strong for the last 4 years. We get roughly 150 plus minus million into startups here. This year is a particularly interesting one, and it could be one of the challenges that we can set ourselves. Already in May, we have reached above the 2023 number of 150-something million, with 164 million invested in deep tech startups to date. We can go much higher. So we have 7 months to do it. The middle one, I guess what's important is that the part of the value of startups across the Baltics that comes from deep tech and AI-first startups is also increasing, currently at 6.8 billion, and that accounts to 20% of the whole ecosystem value. Just to compare it, back in 2019, it was closer to 5%, and it is growing. And the last one is probably a result of why the first two are the way they are. Baltics, again, across Europe, deep tech in the Baltics across Europe is a standout child with 3.6 times growth since 2019, being outpaced only by the US with huge, much larger amounts of capital invested. So we're very efficient. If you compare the numbers that we are investing in and the growth that we are receiving, I actually find it really, really crazy that only 160 million of smart money comes into the deep tech and AI in the Baltics. It has to be much higher. We can achieve much higher numbers, and we at Iron Wolf Capital also are doing our part by raising our next fund, which is going to be somewhere around 70 to 100 million euros, dedicated to deep tech and novel AI startups in the Baltics. A little bit more statistics. As I said, you will find a lot in the report, but maybe some of the good things here is, again, deep tech, AI, and climate, all behind the substantial technologies. We do get large rounds, not only the early stage rounds, but also large rounds, large successes in the Baltics. Here in Estonia, of course, Skeleton, storage, Stargate Hydrogen, and others have already done significant multi-tens of millions of rounds in the last few months alone. Some more things. Here may be an interesting part that if you look at the specific area of deep tech that is really thriving, out of the 5 large rounds, robotics and energy dominates, but there are other great companies as well. Again, we saw it in the key takeaway slide, but this is, I think, the most interesting thing and the most interesting challenge for us to have in the next 7 months. Is to go beyond the record year of 2022, and we're in a very, very good position this year to do it. What is behind? Again, as I said, the report is about the ecosystem, not just about the funding and not just about the startups. Sorry. There you go. So it all in deep tech, in most of the times, in most of the cases, it starts at universities, having great universities, and both in Europe, but also here in the Baltics, we have a number of excellent academic institutions, and we see increasing amount of spin-outs coming from these universities. You will have, again, in the report, a much deeper overview of spin-outs from each particular university with certain specializations becoming quite apparent as well across the countries, but also across the institutions. Estonia, as I said, Startup Estonia is our partner this year, so we spend a little bit more time on the Estonian ecosystem. This is just a highlight page about it, but clearly doing extremely well as an ecosystem, but also the deep tech part of it within it. And we, as I said, the report is just a tool to highlight and to promote the importance of deep tech and AI across the Baltics. And of course, storytelling is an important part of it. So what we did, we also tried to look a little bit broader and highlight the success stories that these ecosystems have brought together. These are what we and Dealroom and our partners believe are the breakout and rising stars from each country. But also, more importantly, you all know about the 10 unicorns coming from Estonia. We actually try to look are there more success stories across the Baltics that we can promote? And we found, if I'm not mistaken, 20 stories that have been very strongly related to our growing ecosystem. So in addition to the 10 Estonian stories, we also found companies like Revolut, who still have the only banking license issued in Lithuania, and a big team there. There are stories of Mambo and Unity and others. So I think it's very important to keep telling these success stories. They breed interest from young people to get engaged, and we hope that in the next few years, more and more of these stories will be in deep tech as well. So that's, I think, the introduction. There are more panels after that on the same topic. You can scan the QR code. As I said, it's a live report. If you have ideas or you want to partner with us for the next year's report, or maybe it's going to be even a half-yearly report, please reach out to us. We're very happy to engage with the community and join in, both as contributors of content, but also as partners. So I think that is it. I have saved 2 minutes of your precious time. Thank you very much. Enjoy the report.